Can you all hear me?
No!
Welcome to Swindon on this glorious sunny morning. The reason we're here today is that, as many of you will already know, on February the 18th, while the Honda workers and the rest of us were undergoing our normal daily business, prior to that, there had been every indication that the Honda plant, which has enjoyed a very successful past, was to close. This is a disgrace. It was a disgrace to the Honda workers and all of the thousands in the supply chain that had not been consulted and had no indication that this was to follow. To those workers and their families, that's the reason we're here today. In a moment, I'm going to introduce Len McCluskey, the General Secretary of Unite, and then we're going to gather into a marching formation and go to the park through the town. On behalf of Unite the Union Southwest, welcome to Swindon, and let me assure you of this: we will do everything and anything necessary to say to the board of Honda, you will review this decision and you will honour your commitment to the workers of Honda and all of those in the supply chain. I've also been asked, on behalf of Tony Woodhouse, the chair of the Unite the Union General Executive Council, to send his greetings. He personally couldn't be here today for personal reasons, but he sends his greetings. And now, on behalf of Unite the Union, I introduce our General Secretary, Len McCluskey.
Well, thank you, Steve, and good morning, sisters and brothers. I'm pleased to be with you here today in order to pledge not only to our members in the plant and the thousands and thousands of members in the supply chain, but also to this community here in Swindon, that we've got no intention of allowing this company to close our plant. For nearly 35 years, this world-class workforce has delivered a fantastic profit and significant profitability for this company. As Steve said, the manner in which you learnt, and we all learnt, of this closure was nothing short of disgraceful. And let me say that this company would never have dreamt of doing it to Japanese workers back in their home country. And our message is clear: we demand that British workers are treated with the same dignity and respect that they would treat workers back in Japan. 3,500 workers and their families, nearly 15,000 workers in the supply chain now wondering about what their future holds. And it is a disgrace that this has happened in this manner. Here in Swindon, there's only about 10,000 manufacturing jobs. So to lose 3,500 is a huge, huge blow to the skills and to the community that it serves. And that's why we are here today. And I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you. People often say, well, why do you go on marches? They don't particularly achieve anything, do they? Well, yes, they do. My experience tells me that when working people come out onto the streets to make their voice heard, then people do sit up and take notice. And the one thing I know about Japanese companies, every Japanese company I've dealt with, and I've dealt with many of them, none of them like bad publicity. And we are currently engaged in putting together a leverage strategy to make it clear to Honda that if they think we're simply going to lie down and allow them to walk all over us, then they best think again. We are working on alternative ways of dealing with the future and keeping this plant open. I've just been asked by a number of the media, but is this realistic? Are they viable? Yes, they are. We have strong, viable alternatives to put to the company. And I'm pleased to say that the Secretary of State, Greg Clark, has committed his support for our alternatives, and Steve Turner, I'll be speaking to you more about that a little later. We'll be travelling to Japan with the government in order to meet the highest individuals within Honda and press them to look once again at keeping our plant open. There's people who've come here today from all over the country, and I want to thank you for the support that you've given and the solidarity that you've shown. And that solidarity is important. It builds hope, because I've no doubt that since this announcement, the families of the workforce in both the supply chain and the direct labour will have felt deeply despondent. And my message is one of hope today. We're joined here today by our colleagues, Honda workers from across Europe, from Belgium and from other workers who are here to offer their support. And it makes me feel optimistic about what we can achieve together. It is vitally important for our manufacturing base in general that the government step up to the mark and that Honda treat us with respect.
Yeah.
I believe, colleagues, that we can achieve. I want you to make certain that you keep optimism and hope in your hearts. We will make certain that every single stone is left unturned, not a single stone, in order to achieve what we want to achieve. Thank you for being here. The beginning of a campaign, and I'm confident it will achieve justice, fairness and victory to you all.
Thank you, Len. In a moment we will form up into the march, but it would be remiss of us not to say at this point an introduction to the people that matter most. And on behalf of the Honda workers and those in the supply chain, can I now introduce you, Paddy Brennan.
First of all, thank you so much for everybody coming. What we've got at the moment is probably one of the hardest attacks in the UK workforce. And what we're saying is we're not going to accept it. We're not going to accept the closure like good little boys and girls and walk away from that factory. We owe it to the people that work in that factory to fight tooth and nail as a trade union to do everything we can within our powers. We've also got the management that's joined us. This is unprecedented times, and it is commanding unprecedented support from not just the management team, but from the politicians and the trade unions. And my message today is quite simple, really. We'll send them a message they're not going to be able to ignore. If we can push them back, fair enough. If we can't, we'll deal with that industrially. So have a good day, have a peaceful day, and I'll see you very shortly.
Okay.